Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Geek with me, where today we continue our coverage of House of the Dragon Season 3 with Episode 3, titled Rhaenyra Triumphant. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. This episode is once again written by Sarah Hess, directed by Claire Kilner, same duo as last week, and a very, very different episode than last week. Our prediction for it slowing down like crazy was precisely correct. We've got a keen sense of pacing for House of the Dragon, my friend. How'd you feel about Season 3, Episode 3, Rhaenyra Triumphant?
Yeah, Rhaenyra Triumphant. I guess I haven't seen it. Is that on... I guess my IMDb, maybe I just need to refresh.
It's on Max.
Updated. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra Triumphant. Okay. But yeah, no, a very slow down in sense of like the war pace, but in terms of Rhaenyra's brain, it's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like the
yeah,
score.
It's still extremely anxiety inducing.
Oh yeah, dude. It was like horror, almost horror, like and it was purely just the stress of the crown, and that was it. Like it was just so many people, and of course she's like bleeding, or like bleeding on the Iron Throne, like someone has never bled before. I think that's a first. Not just the first queen on the Iron Throne. That's not pricked by one of the swords. That's like that can't happen.
Right.
I don't know. That's
God.
That's
that
kind
moment
of
whenever she goes fuck.
Yeah.
And the handmaiden goes, "Your Grace?" She goes, "I'm bleeding." She goes, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, fuck." I love the casualness with which that is handled, and it re-emphasizes something about this episode in particular, and what the whole show has been about. Whenever Corlys is like, "Will you not bring your counsel from Dragonstone?" And she's like, "Nah, fuck that, fuck them." They didn't believe in her. They didn't believe in her because she was a woman, like that was the whole thing. And the entire layer, this whole, the thing lingering over this whole episode about the belief in her, the way they go to her and ask her for everything. And they're like, please, Your Grace, please. And don't get me wrong. I know that kings have dealt with, they've heard these, all sorts of things here, but when it came to her the demands of her, you could tell that the layer there was like, come on now, you know the struggle, you're a woman, come on now, hook us up, you're a woman, you're motherly, you'll hook us up, you're a woman. It was kind of, there was this layer of like, you'll look out for us, you're a woman. That was the whole episode felt that way. And I don't know, I do know, I know that was intentional, that there was this layer that like she knew. And again, it's very, very through the lens of the way Rhaenyra is thinking about it. Rhaenyra knows they're all thinking about how she's the first queen. So she is projecting unto every command of her, every demand of her, every question they ask. Will you do this because you're a woman? Like there's that layer every single time.
Yeah. And at first I thought like, and maybe... I'm still kind of having the thoughts we're entering she wants to burn, and she's getting comfortable with the idea of seeing, Hightower house colors burn right in front of her. And then telling that dragon keeper, "Oh, I'll have them burn," and like, so I'm a little afraid, but she led so well, like, it's, nerve wracking. She's getting her feet settled, as she said, she's getting her foundation built, but like, the gesture, as Damon just said, it's a gesture, it won't matter in a couple of weeks, whatever. But no, this is like very crucial, like with this is like in how Massaria said, like, this is how, like, fuck the sept, pretty much, like this is how you're crowned, or like this is your coronation.
This is your anointment. Yeah.
And so I think she like is very tired, or like it's very visual, like they're visually making her look tired too, she can't sleep on that bed. I thought that was kind of like a maybe, if I don't know if I'm reading into it too much, he's like a new mattress, or like she, like, does she damn well know that it's like that she's not in the bed with her, or like is she, or like is it just like because like I don't know. I don't think it's not the mattress. I think she knows that. But
no, there's all sorts of. The first line we hear Rhaenyra say this episode is one of the best in the episode, which is, "The air is filled with ghosts," or something along those lines, and she says, and it's not all negative, it's not like it's haunting. It just is. And, she so much as sees Jace later in the episode. She's in the place she grew up, and she's been away for a long time, as she says, and the way that she handles the performance of Queen is really compelling. I really enjoy the performance of Queen. And every ruler does it in some capacity in the show and otherwise. Like, we saw Viserys, I appreciated the way they explained Viserys's rule in this episode. Alicent says, Viserys built his own world. You and I never set foot in it. That was never something we were a part of. He lived in a world that didn't exist. He created it, and he was happy to be there. Anna, thank you for checking us out, even though you're watching something more important, some might say. Watching England versus Mexico. Viva la Mexico. Viva Mexico. Let's go. I'm pulling for Mexico there.
No, it's greens versus blacks right now. That's actually the only thing that matters tonight at this time, I think, actually. And we got a little slowdown now, but I don't think it's slowing down. I think we're picking right back up. I think next episode, actually, or maybe not next episode, but to Harrenhal, to somewhere. I don't think the bait is taken directly. I think, I don't know. I feel like it's, Aemon's still maybe out there. Vhagar, that's like the biggest threat. I'm still just like, I don't know. Maybe I put too much trust into everything Helena says. But like, I think Aemon's dying. Maybe Daemon too in that battle, and that's how Harrenhal is just.
I see that coming too, but there's a really, really important line this week that is said by Maester Orwyle and the council in general, which is that Aemond hasn't been seen in weeks. Aemond hasn't been seen. Vhagar hasn't been seen in days. Harrenhal fell.
True. So there's no urgent.
Daemon's host. We saw that. We saw Daemon's host burnt. We saw Aemond show up and kill Simon Strong. I loved the moment where they zoom in on Daemon whenever that news is delivered.
Yeah.
And how it kind of affects him.
He's like
how he's kind of like
there. He says like there's a woman there, and Mr. O was like, "Oh, I haven't heard anything." And he's like, he seemed to me, and I don't know how I'm reading this or if this is a Matt Smith thing or what, but that he knew that this would happen. Like, or maybe it was in his vision or something, and he knows that this is the next step, or I don't know. It seemed that he was holding something back almost. That like he knew Alice would get Aemond as well. And
I see where you're coming from. I don't see it precisely the same way. I take it to be that he just has an intimate knowledge of Harrenhal compared to everybody else there. Him even mentioning Alice is out of concern. It's simultaneously concern and curiosity. Like he wants Alice to be okay, but also if Alice isn't okay, it's probably not the worst thing ever. Like I think that's kind of where Daemon is coming from a little bit. Like he's kind of like, there's a woman there, a maester of sorts. Could she be? And I also think it's kind of a, could she have healed Aemond? Could she be tending to Aemond? I think that could be sort of where he's coming from. I also think that there is a moment when they zoom in on him whenever the news is delivered that the Castellan of the house has been murdered. They zoom in on Daemon and he's kind of like, damn. Like, I know he was always kind of a dick to Simon, but he was also kind of like, Simon, you're a good dude. Like he was kind of like, Simon's kind of real, And it goes back to what we were. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's truly turned a new leaf. Like, I mean,
dude.
And is it to a fault? Like, I want to believe in it so hard. Like, it does feel genuine. And, like, even on the balcony, like, no, they will bow to you. Or, like, they will answer to you. Like, there's no question with him anymore. But, like, maybe it's it's that he saw this vision. He's like, okay, Viserys didn't tell me of the prophecy, whatever. I'm not as important. But and he hated that at first. But maybe now it's like this is what gives him purpose now. Like
Right.
this is like it is written, like it's prophetic to have Rhaenyra on the throne, sort of thing. So like, and if he can sit there with her, then it's just as he's on the throne too. Like he doesn't have the title, sure, but like he does whatever the fuck he wants. Like and now at this degree, even more so. So I don't know. Like I wonder if it is, like if he's playing the part so well. Or if it is genuine, I don't know. But
I think it's genuine. The moment on the balcony this episode was really, really important because for me, it was the most balanced Daemon has been. Where last episode, he was exactly who Rhaenyra needed him to be, and there was, kind of no fault in his actions. Now, don't get me wrong. The end of the episode, there's debate to be had about whether or not she should kill Otto, and that is called into question this week. Where it's like, you killed the one guy who might have known anything. Actually, you killed both the guys who might have known anything, and you just slaughtered them right then and there. Like, to each their own, whatever. But Daemon was exactly the husband that Rhaenyra needed him to be last week. And this week, I think that kind of continues. He's no longer... This is the most... And I say this ironically because clearly he's not a selfless man. Like he is the least socialist man in the room. Rhaenyra the socialist and Mysaria coming through being like, hey, give the power back to the people. Go for it. Daemon's like, fuck the people, dude. Let's hold it down, and I don't want to give him too much credit because obviously he's not a great guy, but he's the guy that we expect him to be. And I think that this is the most balanced version of Daemon we've seen yet, where he is still royal and he is still holier than thou. Literally, he dubs themselves gods in this week. We're still holier than thou. We're still better than them. But he still grounds himself in a capacity to go, Rhaenyra, this is what you should do. Rhaenyra listens, she refutes, and he doesn't argue. He goes, Your Grace? Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, you're the queen. I believe in you. So I do think that there is still like I don't see a lot of untrustworthiness in Daemon, or like something that I shouldn't believe, I guess I should say.
True. And he is, I guess, I thought he was going to go to Harrenhal maybe, but he's going to the Vale, actually, to ask for coin, for food, and just supplies and all that. So and he even said like, oh, I will relish in this task or something like that. And so like, I think
he's already murdered one lady at the Vale.
Yeah. Are we seeing people fly through the moon door? We seen a little, sheep stealer? What's the...
sheep stealer. Yeah.
Sheep stealer. Okay, yeah. Maybe a reveal to Daemon and, House Black that like it's not actually Alicent, or like or the High Towers with that. So but yeah, I don't know. Do you think at the Vale they're going to be like, I mean, I'm assuming they're not going to want to give up their money. But do you think they're going to not like want to bend the knee, sort of thing? Like, are they going to be like?
I think that they've made it very clear at the Vale that they are no friends of the Targaryens, as the Targaryens have not given them what they said they would. Now, the issue at hand is that both sides of the conflict are Targaryen. So, is it just an abstaining altogether? Like, is it just kind of like fuck all of you? We're going to do our own thing. And fuck what you think about it. I think that that's possible. But I also think that Rhaena condemned herself a little last week when she swore herself and her dragon in exchange for protection to the Vale. She was like, you said you need a dragon. You've got it. Let me stay here. Now, do I think that we're heading into a Sheep Stealer versus Caraxes fight next week? I don't know about all that. Maybe it starts that way but doesn't end that way, again, because something that many might forget, that's Daemon's daughter.
But like an accidental kill, maybe he just doesn't even know, or like it's. I really hope that doesn't happen. Like it is a confrontation that then stops because it's like, oh my God, we actually have another dragon. Let's go.
And here's the thing. I'd give anything for any acknowledgement of the fact that those are his kids from him. I would love for him to acknowledge that and go, shit, I can't kill my daughter. And if he does kill his daughter, I want him to go, fuck, I killed my daughter. And I want him to be sad about it. Something. Just any acknowledgement of the relationship he has to Bela and Rhaena would be nice.
I think he has a little bit of the Otto Hightower disease of, that's my grandson. I can get him on the throne. Wait a minute. I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. But Daemon's like, I have an actual son. That's my son with Rhaenyra. Not, sadly, Joff. I don't think Joffrey is long for the world. I don't think
Joffrey's cooked.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Joffrey. You just don't make it. But there are Aegon and Viserys, right? Or is it It is Aegon.
Yeah.
Is that their first one?
Aegon and Viserys.
I mean, come on. We got to get a couple more Aegons in between now and then, I mean, the numbers got to go up, right? So I think, like, it kind of makes sense.
We've met one of them in a later show. Dunk.
Yes.
And Egg.
This is true. This is true. And that would be... But he's too young to be that Aegon.
No, that's
he
not,
would be
not
like
the same Aegon by any stretch.
Down the line, maybe even 3. I don't know. I don't know the exact year or span.
I think Aegon and Duncan Egg is the 4th. Because Aegon, he might be the 5th. Because Aegon, the Usurper, is the 2nd.
Yeah. He's number 2. Jon Snow's the 7th, right? Sorry.
I believe so.
For Game of Thrones,
here.
Anyone.
Yeah.
But okay. So, I mean, we got to get to, there's, I guess from Dunk. Okay. It's to know what that egg, to know what number egg is kind of, how many, is there just
I'm pretty
one more
sure they
step
acknowledge it in Dunk and Egg. What? That's a quick Google away. Let me go ahead and check which one the Aegon in Dunk and Egg is.
Yeah. Because if it's like 4, then that's
I just Googled all caps Dunk and Egg. Which Aegon is that? That's the 5th.
Okay. The 5th.
Aegon the 5th.
What
so
the fuck? We got to get 3, 4.
There is a 4th between now and then.
Yeah, I mean, we got to have Daemon's kid Aegon, and then they have a kid, and then, or I don't know, it could skip a generation. Maybe they don't name another one Aegon. I don't know, but it's a likely bet. If you got to bet on someone, I'd say if their name's Aegon, pretty good bet there.
Jon is 6th.
6th.
Yeah, so there is not another Aegon after Dunk and Egg and in between that and Jon Snow.
Wow. Okay.
I knew there was I for some reason I thought he was the 7th too, but then I have that fucking shirt that has all of his fucking titles, and that one says 6th. And so like I've always been like, ever since I got that shirt, I was like, I could have swore he was 7th, but I don't know why. Maybe it's just 7 Kingdoms.
Knight of the 7 Kingdoms, probably. Yeah, that's probably where my brain. Yeah, okay, but 6th. Okay, so and I don't know why I was under the assumption too that it's like every generation needs an Aegon as well. Or so
this is the first. These are the first 2 Aegons in like 100 fucking years or something like that.
Yeah, maybe it was like blasphemy to be like, you dare, like, you want to name your kid Aegon, like. Not it's untouchable for a certain period of time. It's like, and then I was like, okay, now we can.
It was like the first person to name their kid Jesus. It was like, okay. It was like they were you got to be pretty confident, to be like, this kid, that's Jesus.
That's true. That is pretty baller, actually. That's quite the power move, actually.
I mean, the most common name in the world is Muhammad.
That's true. Man, I guess we love doing it, actually.
Yeah, we love naming them after our deities.
Yeah, no royal blood, just actually everyone all over the world. We do it. I guess, yeah. My whole family, every sibling, were saints or biblical names.
My boy.
So it's like, yeah, true.
The Rock.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Nathan Rockwell joined my
life.
Oh,
I was like, wait, how is Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
No, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is watching right now.
Yeah. Okay. Impressive. No, I thought you were calling him like a god figure, or like that he was named
Maui,
after a god
in Moana.
Yep.
Yeah,
fair enough. Actually, yes, god of the sea, pretty much.
What can I say except you're welcome? Yeah, great song, by the way. Great soundtrack. Love that movie. The live action one, a sham.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
Bullshit.
But
not for any particular reason other than the fact that I think a live action remake 10 years after the original is kind of insane.
That's also insane. It's been a decade as well when you put it like that.
No, it's insane. So I'm going to go ahead and give my entire opinion on Disney live action remakes right now since we're here. The fact that, the only live action remake that I really fuck with the concept of is The Little Mermaid. I'm okay with The Little Mermaid because you are recontextualizing it for a different audience, for a different audience to see themselves on screen. The exact reason that a lot of people were like, now why would you make her black, is exactly why that movie is original or good or a good idea in the first place. If you're going to go ahead and remake the movie, change something about it, that's how I see it.
Yeah, it's like going to the Louvre, going up to the Mona Lisa, and kind of putting trace paper over it and just copying it almost one for one, and just barely switching the style whatsoever, but just making it modern. But then if you make it unique, then there's a purpose to it. But a copy is
making a live action Aladdin where you just did Aladdin again, making a quote unquote live action Lion King, which is inherently stupid. Where the animals just emote less. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's some things are just meant for animation. And arguably, damn, the anime of Game of Thrones or seeing this in animation would be pretty cool.
We are getting Game of Thrones animated series. That is something in the pipeline, and there is specifically a Sea Snake animated series in the works, which is Corlys Velaryon.
So, his young self, or
I'm assuming so. Whoa. I don't think it would take place right now. I'm assuming. My guess is that it would be the war with the Triarchy would be kind of what the the point of that is. But I don't know that for sure.
I mean, he's got balls, and raising his voice like that with everyone around.
Yeah, he's fucking cooked.
Yeah, I don't know if he has long.
We were wondering how the House Velaryon falls to such terrible lows.
Shit.
That's how.
And I mean, Rhaenyra, I guess she has a point, but then it's so hypocrite.
It's deeply hypocritical, and don't get me wrong. Corlys doesn't present any wrong points. This man should be fed up. This man should be at a point where he goes, my wife died. He still thinks his son is dead. His son's not dead.
He's probably not coming. Wait, could he come? That'd be so nuts. Bro returns. I never thought of him returning. I honestly don't want him to. No. Well, that's tough.
I would love to see him back. I wouldn't love to see him back in the context of being a part of the show. But I and I mean a contender in the show, he returns and is I will be your king consort. No, that's not what I want. But a little Laenor appearance where he is sneaking back into the city. Yeah, I can fuck with that.
Oh yeah, they'd still actually be married.
Yeah.
Oh,
him dying is why her and Daemon could get married at all.
like in the Sept, the high priestess, high priestess, the
he's a lady.
The what's the title? The heads
Septon.
The Septon. The Septon.
Yeah. Sorry, I let you fish for a while. I had that a little bit ago.
Yeah. I was not going to get there. But yeah, good old Septon boy. You know, I was like, okay, how is that angle going to come into play? Like, are we doing this all over again? Or are we just going to do the Rise of the People sort of thing and you know, kind of have that? Or, I mean, if, like, maybe it's not, like, the full return, but maybe just news gets out, oh, hey, someone who was supposed to be dead for, I mean, how much time has passed by now? I don't know.
Fuck. A few years. I mean,
damn. Yeah, but like, hey, spotted in Essos, living it up, you know, white hair, just beaming it off, you know, I don't know. Or like word gets in and then the Sept's like, hey, well, under the eyes of all the seven, you're not legitimate, blah, blah, blah. And I don't, yeah.
Well, and she's already questioning Corlys as a hand anyway. Corlys does a couple things in this episode as a hand that are ridiculous.
I defer to
when they ask, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, like your whole job, your
your whole job is to chime in there. That is what your job is.
No, you got this. You're like, you know, maybe it's like a confidence play that it's like, no, like you know in your heart what the answer is. But I don't.
I think that's his intention. But
okay,
if she's the one who goes, hey, dog, what do you think? That is why you're there. Mm-hmm. That is why you have a job. So here's I think maybe she ends up. I don't think she's gonna kill Corlys. Again, she's too good for that. Unless Corlys takes another drastic step in public, that's like your kids are bastards. I hate you. You know, like now the concern. And Rhaenyra's got to play it smart too, is that Adam and Alan are his kids. If she kills Corlys, they're like, that's a dragon rider who's no longer fucking with her. And he's already on the fence. You can tell he's already on the fence because she dubs him Adam of Hull.
Yeah, was the knighting before he said I defer to the queen, or was that
that was after.
The knighting was after he deferred to her?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's wild.
I think that is the only scene after that. The only scene after that with Corlys is the one where he's like, your kids are bastards.
Yeah.
Your son lived and died. A bastard.
If Daemon was there, I think he would have already been dead.
Daemon would have stabbed him.
Yeah. Yeah, like it
and that's why I fuck with Daemon. Here's the don't get me wrong. I don't think Corlys is wrong. You know, Corlys is actually 100% objectively correct. There's nothing factually wrong about what Corlys is saying. We all know it. Everyone knows it. And she's also right that if she all of a sudden raises up a few illegitimately born children, that it all of a sudden makes her true heir, her last quote unquote heir. It negates his. I love when Corlys sits there and goes, because before he goes outwardly, your kids are bastards. He goes, these are the only two I have left. These are the only chance I have of extending my name. Joffrey exists at present. Joffrey is Joffrey Valerian. You know, he has his name, and obviously that's not permanent. Rhaenyra is the queen. Joffrey, once he takes the throne, is Targaryen. That is how they decided that would work a long time ago.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Wow.
So like that is him indirectly going. That was the tactful approach, was to go, your kids are bastards. I know it. You know it. Joffrey's not going to rule Driftmark. Driftmark's gone. This is something. Cozy Autumn Times, shout out for showing up. I appreciate you. I remember when you chimed in talking about how cool my Fuck Eye shirt was. I appreciated that. We were talking about the television show House of the Dragon. If you have not seen it, you should dip because we are spoiling the shit out of it. Sorry, that was a question on the TikTok live, as we are live every Sunday night after House of the Dragon. You should follow me at Coro Bloom. Look it up, Colton Robertson. I'm there. So that was the tactful approach that Corlys was taking. That was him extending the olive branch to Rhaenyra, going, I don't have to say it. And you don't have to let me get there. We could just call it good right now, because Joffrey will never be a Valyrian. Joffrey will eventually be a Targaryen. He will ascend to the throne. It has nothing to do with me. You know, and I'm okay with that. As long as you make Adam and Alan my heirs and make them Valyrians, we're good. You know, and then she doesn't. And so he's like, hey, dog, my wife died, my kid's dead, everything's fucked, okay? So how about you do me this one solid? That's him going, let's do this. I'm done with this bullshit.
Well, yeah, I wonder, like, you can't really do, like, name one of them Velaryon and then leave the other whole like that. Because what if the Dragon Rider stays whole, but then the actual heir that Corlys even named
Adam, Alan,
could be the Velaryon. So, but like, I wonder if that's, I don't know, like a possibility, or like if you just gotta, you kind of gotta legitimize them both.
Well, it's not a final thing. That's the other thing that I don't think Corlys is considering, is that just because she considered him Adam of Hull and knighted him, I don't think that's legitimizing him permanently. I don't think that's like you will never be a Velaryon, you're fucked, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think that there is still a possibility of him becoming a Velaryon. Now, Alan, obviously, still in the wind. There is, of course, an option for him to still be a Velaryon. And I could see her extending that olive branch and it furthering Adam's descent. Because he already felt left out. Corlys always favored Alan, talked to Alan, didn't talk to Adam, all that good shit. So, I could see that route. I could see that route where all of a sudden maybe Adam doesn't switch sides, because at the moment, of course, there's 5 episodes left in this season. There's an entire other season left of the show. I know for a fact, and this episode indicates, I know for a fact that the conflict isn't over. You know what I'm saying? Like, the conflict isn't over. And as over as it might have felt at the beginning of this episode, it's very clear that it's not. I don't know if Adam would switch sides, but I could see him going, I'm going to make sure you have one less dragon, and I'm going to fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fuck with you. I definitely don't fuck with Aegon. So I'm going to piss off, and good luck. You don't have sea smoke anymore. I could absolutely see that. And I wouldn't blame him for that one bit. That's one of the big things that I love about this show, is that I could look at any character, almost any character, and go, yeah, can't blame them. Like all of them have relatively reasonable motives, except for like Aemond. Aemond and Larys are like the only two who are like, yeah, fuck them. Kristen, fuck them. But even now, we talked about this in week 1. Kristen's motives now are just like, everybody dies.
Yeah. We're
floating on a small rock. We're ants floating on a small rock in the middle of space, and we're all going to die one day anyway, so fuck me, I guess. And even that, I'm like, you know what? I think that's a piss poor outlook. But in House of the Dragon, why the fuck wouldn't you believe that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be where I was if I was Kristen. I can't blame him one bit.
He's kind of right. They gave the war to the dragons, and like, right now, I mean, Vhagar still exists, but Aemond is, who knows? And so, like,
Aemond's healing at Harrenhal. Aemond hasn't been seen in weeks because Alice is making sure he hasn't been seen in weeks.
Yeah, and healing? Like, I don't think bro's coming. Daemon came back a gentleman almost. I almost call him a gent, which is great. I never thought in my life I would be this much on Daemon's side.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. and I know I've already said this. Daemon is so fucking hot this season. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck it is, and it's not a physical thing because he looks the exact same. Like Matt Smith, don't get me wrong, Matt Smith is a strange looking, good looking man. He's obviously not conventionally attractive, but he is a good looking man. The characteristics of Daemon Targaryen this season have elevated him to being possibly the hottest man in the show. And I don't know that that's up for much debate at the moment. I
mean, I know we hate Kristen Cole, but like...
Kristen Cole is fine.
The beard, the
Fabian
hair.
Frankel, good looking man. But all things considered, if I'm taking into account Kristen Cole's personality, it nerfs him so bad. You know what I'm saying? It makes him uglier. Daemon's personality as of this season is actively making him hotter, and it's making him more likable.
Matt Smith is honestly kind of like that in real life too. Like the little like interview clips and stuff. Like he's so chaotic and actually like kind of like that, and that is. Yep.
No, they voted. There was actually a behind the scenes clip of like an interview with a bunch of the actors in the show who were asking. They were asked which actor is most like their character. And Emma Darcy was interviewing side by side with Matt Smith. Steve Toussaint, who plays Corlys, was with the actor who plays Alan, and forgive me, I cannot remember his name at the moment. And there were Alicent was with Aegon and Aemond, and there was separate groups going, and they start with Emma and Matt, and they go, Emma goes, "Oh, we got to be careful with this one. This might be like hurtful. Like this could be mean." And they cut to the others, and they go, "Matt." The others go, "Yeah, it's Matt." Yeah, they're like, "It's Matt." And all of them are like, "It's because he's charming, and you don't know why you love him so much. He's just endearing, and there's something about him that you want to root for." And da 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 da. And they get to Emma and Matt, and Matt's like, "Who did they all say?" And they go, "You." And he goes, "Oh." He's like, "I guess." And he was like, "Why?" And they're like, "Because you're charming." He's like, "Yeah. That's what Daemon's known for, is cracking a couple jokes at the party." I think that's a hilarious way to depict Matt Smith, but I'm like, it really reflects how positively I think people view Daemon Targaryen, especially now. Even though in season 1, we didn't know if we were going to despise this motherfucker, and at points we did despise the motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I'm like 95% in, I think. The other 5% of me is if Joffrey is back, I'm very curious how he treats Joffrey, because his Velaryon kids, he doesn't give any. Yeah, like you're right. Like he needs to give them any acknowledgement or anything.
Yeah, they are Targaryens because he's their dad, but they're girls. Yes. So they're not Rhaenyra's kids, so they're not suitable heirs for the throne. So it's like it would skip from Joffrey to Aegon, I believe. Now, I don't think that it's because of Daemon that Joffrey dies. I am of the mind that maybe not this show, but the next like certified absolute ruler of the Seven Kingdoms is Aegon, Rhaenyra, and Daemon's kid. I think it is that long that we are not sure who the king or queen is. I think history recognizes Viserys. There's a weird fucking gap, and then it is Aegon Targaryen, because the Targaryens wrote their history and they didn't want a weird fucking gap there. And that's how they acknowledge, it's just, it went from Viserys to Aegon, Viserys's grandkid, and nephew, which is a funny combo to be.
Yeah, I like that because I watched the opening graphic a little closer, and and it is slowly evolving with each episode. Like the it gives Corlys the killing of what was her name? Badass
Lohar.
pirate Lohar. Yeah, like Corlys is the one that kills Lohar, or at least there. So like, there's little lies. It's like, he led that battle. So like, yes, in the history books, he would.
That is how history would depict it.
So like, yeah, like so. But then,
and is that an indication that history doesn't recognize Alan?
Ah, wow. Probably that's maybe. I maybe just because Corlys led the battle, that it's just easy and clean. It was just leader versus captain. But yeah, I mean the whole thing at the end of the opening, it's all ripped apart. So it like that leads to your theory a whole lot more, where it's like, well, all of this is being written, but by the end of it, fuck it, it's Aegon, like Aegon the Third. I guess, do they even recognize Aegon the Second?
Is that why there's confusion about Aegon the Sixth versus Seventh for Jon Snow? Are there conflicting reports? Have we heard Seventh and we're not being crazy? I don't know.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird.
Cool.
But
I turned off the damn particle accelerator, and I swear to God, I feel.
I've seen some. You are not the first person. You are the first person I heard this theory from, but I've been seeing it a lot more on the internet lately. I like it. But regardless, something I did want to acknowledge that I'd forgotten to bring up. Of course, Ramin Djawadi does not miss. That is one of the best composers alive.
Oh my God.
The way that he cooks with Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Westworld, you name it. I don't think Ramin Djawadi has ever made a bad score. He has never composed a bad piece of music. This man cooks on what may now be the most underrated level a composer can cook at. Like, if we're not talking about Ramin Djawadi as actively one of the best composers alive, then what are we doing? But I say that in a season where he has just been cooking. This episode is obscene score-wise. It relies so heavily on the music because of the anxiety Rhaenyra is experiencing and the way that everything is cooking within her, that it shines more than ever. There's a sequence, like the transition from the first, like the cold open into the theme song this week.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
This man, I mean, he's no longer cooking with gas. The Industrial Revolution has hit. This is straight electric. This man's cooking modernly. He's doing things that we didn't realize were possible once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? This man's cooking. He's cooking on an electric stove, and I'm liking it.
How is he not like on the same level as like a Ludwig Göransson or
the last movie I know he scored was Eternals. So of course he didn't get the love he deserved for that, even though Eternals has an insanely good score. What's up, Q? That's my little brother. He's here right now. What's up, buddy?
But yeah, no, this score, every time she would like hear. Not every time she heard something from like someone new of like asking her of another task, but it was like something that was like asking her of something she knew she would never do, or like the immediate answer was no. There was like this, or like a note, kind of a
the rat motif.
Ooh, Aegon hanged all the rat catchers.
Motif is crazy. The fact that every time, well, it's not just there's a music cue that goes along with it. But there's also literal rats squeaking whenever it happens. It's rats running by her feet. And the fact that they are just nesting in her head as like an idea. Oh, and when she serves them. Now, this is funny from like a class consciousness standpoint. Because like on paper, it's an incredibly socialist move to like raid all these houses, take from the rich, give to the poor. But she makes it really clear that these are like the upper middle class of the realm, not the powerful houses. So she's not taxing the billionaires. You know what I'm saying? She's taxing the motherfuckers making, a milli, $900,000 a year. She's taking their money. She's letting the billionaires do what they do because she can't piss them off. But she's going to tax who she can and give it back to the people. And, if you're translating that to American politics and like real world politics, is that a more sensible alternative? I mean, anything's a more sensible alternative compared to what we've got going on, but that would be a more sensible alternative to what we're doing at the moment and would be a nice bridge to full-blown socialism if we were going to do so. However, it would create a greater class divide. It would separate the higher class from the lower class even more. It would, the higher class would keep making money and the middle class would just grow larger. And that's,
yeah,
it's not all the way a bad thing, but it's not a good thing,
But the modern equivalent is kind of funny to think about. Like, it's taking the COVID toilet paper hoarders and just taking that toilet paper and giving it back to the people who didn't have any.
Couldn't afford
COVID.
Toilet paper. Yeah.
So it's like, because these are the merchants. These are the people who are getting this stuff in and then being like, oh, I'll keep a lot for me, but I'll let a little bit go through and stuff. So it's like, I think it's like, it is like a, you had direct, correlation for the starving, even though it is truly because of like the crown and the blockade and everything. And that one interaction with that one lord at the end, that dude who has like perfect fucking teeth, I always think it's hilarious. Like people back in the day, that just have like,
your teeth would look like shit.
Dental. This dude had like fresh. They were probably
this
dental.
man
I don't
flosses.
know. But yeah, but that guy, that was, I don't know. What does he gain out of that? Like, does he really gain anything out of that interaction other than like, Rhaenyra knows he's like smarter than the rest of these lords, or like, did he just want kind of a moment to be like, we still have, I will spread the word of your blockade more, or remind people that that's why we're all starving, or like, I don't really get.
Manderly, he looked so familiar. Let me look up.
I know. Oh my God!
I'm gonna look him up because he was immediately. I was like, "What
Fogler.
have I seen him in?"
Dan Fogler, fanboys. I don't know. I just saw Darth Vader. I'm like, no, Balls of Fury, Fantastic. Beasts.
Fanboys is.
Oh shit! Maybe that's where I've seen him. Fantastic Beasts. He's like this really nice guy. Yeah, he's yeah, okay. I think that's where I've seen him. Okay. But
that is not where I've seen him, as I have not watched Fantastic Beasts. However, upon looking up Dan Fogler, I know for a fucking fact I have seen him. It's just a matter of what it was in. Oh, and I'm not gonna give up until I find it. I can't, it's not clips of Fantastic Beasts. That would be ridiculous because I've seldom seen clips of Fantastic Beasts. Albert Grossman, A Complete Unknown. That's definitely one of them. The Bob Dylan biopic. I definitely remember him in that.
Okay. Yeah.
I definitely remember him in that, and that is probably what it is. But right. Yeah, Torrin Manderly. The Manderleys end up being... Oh, fuck yes. Found it. It's The Offer. The television show straight to Paramount Plus about the development of the movie The Godfather. He plays Francis Ford Coppola in that. Shit. That's what it is.
Okay, we got The Godfather right here, man. This is I don't know his angle here though. Or if there is really any angle. If this was just I have the opportunity to talk to the Queen and kind of have a little slam dunk moment, maybe that's all it was, but
I see it again. I see it as a dismissal of her power on the basis that she's a woman. He would never do this to a king, and something that is really, really interesting as me and you as men who would not negate a person's power based on gender, to go through my head and go, because for a second I was like, now why the fuck is he doing this? This is stupid as fuck. Why would you do that? oh yeah, you're a misogynist piece of shit. You know, like that is actually as good a reason as any for a lot of these dudes. Is just being like, you're a woman, and I don't trust you as a ruler because you're a woman. And I think that I can step to you because you're a woman. And Torrin Manderly, he's doing a really, really delicate balance where I don't think he's obviously not directly being like, fuck you. But you know, like, he's doing enough, and she's doing enough to go, watch your fucking back, buddy. You know, cause she says, my memory is long, and, this interaction, not gonna forget it. And I remember the Manderleys in Game of Thrones. They're a northern house, at least that's how I remember them, and they commit their cause to the Starks. They're a
twisted goatee guy. Is that Manderly?
He is not a Manderly. No, he is not a Manderly. They're not a big deal. They're not like the strongest they're not a big house by any means, but they're definitely like, if you've got the Manderleys, at least you've got a strong northern house, is how I recall, you know?
Okay. Well, Google just shit out, you know, that this is too hard of a Google, the Manderly house, in Game of Thrones, but okay. Yeah, that was, I wonder, and I mean, we're still far away, I guess. We still have, Dunk and Egg. I can't even connect the dots from Dunk and Egg to Game of Thrones. And and right now we're maybe connecting the dots between this and Dunk and Egg. So it's like, yeah, there's still much to be had.
This is interesting. Sorry, I looked up the history of the Manderly house. The Manderleys are a wealthy and powerful northern noble family in Game of Thrones. At this time, they are not a northern family. And here's why. Most northerners originate from the north. The Manderleys originate from the Reach and worship the faith of the Seven. In the series, they are famously loyal to the Starks and boast the largest cavalry force in the north. However, in the books, Manderly was driven out of the Reach by House Gardener. They were given sanctuary in the north by House Stark. In exchange, they were tasked with guarding the mouth of the White Knife River, and they eventually built the bustling city of White Harbor. So, there you go. That's why this motherfucker's even here. There's no northern lords here besides Manderly, and like as far as I know, the Starks aren't here. You know, even though they have committed their white beards to Rhaenyra's cause. We are here to die for the Dragon Queen, which is still the coolest line anyone's ever said.
They didn't even die. Well, I guess the battle's still not over.
They're gonna, yeah.
And
I fucking love that concept. I fucking love the concept of like the northern houses being like, winter's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And the old folks, they're not living through it anyway.
Damn.
So all you badasses, all you old fucks who still got some fight left in you, go on and die honorably in battle. That's so fucking cool, dude.
Damn. And they're all for it, too. They're like, fuck yes. It's like maybe Valhalla for them, you know? It's like, this is a warrior's
absolutely.
death. Like, let's go. I wonder, you know, what are the old women, you know? I didn't see many women in that army, you know? It didn't seem very diverse, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what they're up to, but I want to find out, you know?
No, you know, maybe like, I don't know, like, it's cold in the winter. You need blankets, and that's just, you know, I don't know, maybe an old lady thing. You just be making blankets for everyone.
Sitting there weaving, bobbing and weaving.
But yeah, because like I don't want to believe that it's like, okay, my husband goes out to war, now what do I do? Like, you know, it's not. It can get pretty doom and gloom if there's not enough food to go around for people, and stuff. So a warrior's death is a lot better than, I don't know. But yeah, this will, I don't know, because the Northern Army, all of them are on their way to King's Landing still, or because like Daemon was like to King's Landing, and you know he just flew back on his dragon. Are they already there?
Yeah. King's Landing. I mean, that's not a quick march. From where they were.
Are they on their way still? Is that the idea? And
I think so. Now, I do want to pivot here because I don't have a lot left to say about the episode in and of itself. But the quote-unquote twist of this episode, which is that Darren isn't Darren, clocked from a mile away. And I don't mean that to pat on our own backs or anything, but like... I know I don't even have to ask you. I know from the second you saw that little fucker, you were going, that's not Darren. And I'm not trying to say that anybody shouldn't have.
They gave him up so
I expect
easily.
that most people recognize that wasn't Darren. Ormond nods at fucking Brasso.
Yeah, let's go.
I will
Let's
never
go,
learn
Brasso.
that guy's name. I will never learn that guy's name. That's Brasso. That is Lord Brasso of House Andor. Okay,
Yes. That sounds. It fits even. That's kind of crazy.
It fits. It fits. Lord Brasso of House Andor. Ormond looks at Lord Brasso of House Andor. He goes, "Yeah, do it." You know, like he just nods at him. And from the moment he nodded at him, I didn't even need to see the fucking kid. I was like, the game is afoot. They have a fucking plan for this shit. It's so obvious. And Damon, come on, Damon. You gotta be better than that.
It was a little too easy, no?
He's got blonde. He's got blonde hair. Eat my ass, Damon. Come on. That is the one. That is a pretty big fuck up by Damon there.
I mean, granted,
I know he's feeling confident.
They've never seen, though. No one's ever seen this kid. It's just like, well, yeah, I guess he's got the hair. He was here. Who else you know? I don't. It's like, but I mean,
too easy.
It
Damon,
was way too easy.
You need some proof, buddy. You need some proof, Damon.
I guess how? How do you go about that?
Bring before me every child ages between this and this. I'm going to kill them all.
Anyone that's not blonde, sorry, today is not your day. Yeah, it's but because I mean,
blonde kids and unblonde kids alike, you're dying.
That's fair. He does go back to Rhaenyra.
They brought this fucking kid. This is the only reason they brought this kid.
True.
There's not another kid there that age that isn't Darren.
Yeah.
This is the only fucking kid they did this with. They were like, you're blonde. Let's make you blonder. Because there's a point when they look at his roots and he's like a little, he's not platinum blonde. He's just normal blonde.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're like, fuck. You know, like, dude.
Yo. Wait a minute. Imagine it's the double switcheroo. That it's like, nah, it's fake. But Alicent's like, let's fucking go. I got my son. Maybe, what do they do with this kid, though? Does the kid just, I don't know. It felt,
this kid's cooked.
I don't think so. I don't think this is a double switcheroo. But yeah, in my confusion, I remember last episode, I thought Darren was like this Lord, starts with an
Ormond.
Ormond. I thought Ormond was fucking Darren, and I'm like, yeah, the hair that's like obviously, wrong. And so and I'm like, this dude's old as shit. And I was so lost. It was just because of the shot in the like episode 1 season on. It shows him with the dragon just like right behind him, like the Darren's dragon. And I'm like, oh, that's Darren. And I'm like, and I just kind of didn't really think anything of it. And I'm just like, okay, that's that dude. I don't know, but did we see that dude before? Has he been around, or like is this a new
Ormond?
Yeah, Ormond.
No.
Okay.
Episode 1 was his first appearance. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Of season 3.
Yeah, and what's he sniffing on? What's the
smelling salts?
Like, actually, like that's
nah. I'm going with
like
some sort
flower. Is it it's not a drug. Like, bro's not like getting high on fumes. Is it just like lavender?
I don't know. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that he might be getting like. I think it's an upper. I think it's some sort of thing that makes him lock in. You know, I don't think it's just like bringing him peace and he's going to like, because he doesn't give off that vibe that he's like insane and that he's going to like, this calms me down. No, I think it's like, I need to lock the fuck in. I'm a soldier on the front lines. Let me get wired real quick. I think is kind of how I see it.
Because wasn't it the first time he smelled it? Like there was a common folk, someone who came up to him, and I don't know, like he smelled bad, and he just pulled it out and was like, it kind of like soothed the smell a little bit. I feel
maybe it's just a good smell. He doesn't like the smell of death, which is all around.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Was this a common thing? I mean, not in Game of Thrones, but like for knights just to have like this dangle pocket.
I severely doubt it. I'd be willing to bet this motherfucker's bougie as fuck. The Hightowers don't strike me as the most nitty gritty bunch. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's worth noting, and I say that, yeah, they're not the most nitty gritty bunch, but no house is at this point. There hasn't been war for a century. Like, no person in any of their halls are battle tested, so.
Is the name Hightower at all in Game of Thrones?
Nope. Nope. Yeah, they're fucked.
It's burning green. It's not burning green. The entire city, town.
Old Town's where the Citadel is. That's all we fucking know. That's all we know Old Town for.
Oh shit! Is it still? Yeah, it's there right now, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
I imagine so. I can't imagine it's not.
Like that seems like a pretty ancient thing, but like be
Yeah,
kind
it
of
doesn't
wild
feel
if we get to Old Town and it's like no tall ass spire. We just don't see the Citadel, and it's just like. I don't know. That would be like, okay, well, yeah, we burnt this shit town down, and now we need to rewrite history to rewrite this gap. And let's just plop a library. Let's big tower. All the information goes there, and it's got to be there. There's no way.
That's where the Hightowers get their name, dude.
Yeah,
that's
true.
why the
Literally.
Hightowers are called that. Is because they built a tower that was really high. Full stop. That's how names got dealt around at the time. Like that's how it happened. So like I think the Citadel already exists and the Hightowers built it. And that's why it's called that.
It's
yeah.
They're named Hightower. It doesn't exist. So in honor of killing them, they built the highest tower in Game of Thrones
it's kind of like Hugh here. Or Ulf, like what are you going to be dubbed, And he's like, I guess white, because
fuck, sure.
He's like Targaryen, and they're like, fuck no, dude. You see this fucking guy? That
like,
shit kills me.
I was like, damn. But I mean, come on, yeah, no, but
I mean, yeah, like you just got to know better, and Ulf obviously doesn't.
No, is that it? Like while being knighted, he's like.
And Rhaenyra's like, dude, you didn't even give me a fucking second. I was getting there.
Shut the fuck up. He's painting his death so obviously that he's not going to die. He has plot armor at this point. I don't know.
Ulf might be the lone survivor of the series.
He is the next on the throne. I don't know.
Yes.
Is Targaryen. It's legit.
Aegon. This is Aegon the Fourth. Is Ulf Dragonseed.
Yeah.
Ulf the White.
Ulf the White. That's the... I mean, I know you really wanted Targaryen and all, but, like, that's the best... I mean, like, just because of the hair...
White, I guess.
Like,
dude, give it a little more thought.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I don't know, is he so dead, or is he so obviously going down that road that it's like... I don't, because they can't really get rid of him. He has a dragon, like they need that. Unless Vhagar is dealt with. Vhagar, while he's still on the table, it's just kind of over because Helena's dragon is, I don't know. Helena's not taking that out. I don't think she's...
Dreamfire's dope though. I would love to see Dreamfire. Is that her dragon's name?
I think so. It's something.
Yeah, Sunfire was Aegon's. Dreamfire is Helena's.
That's a risky. I'm not gonna Google Helena Dragon. I don't know who could. Death could be just. I don't want to know. Yeah,
I love Helena. One of my favorite scenes in this episode. I know that we talked about how Rhaenyra's like anxiety is kind of the propeller of this episode, but we haven't talked a lot about Rhaenyra herself in the context of this episode. The way that she deals with the incoming non-ceasing flow of negativity, she goes to her hand of the queen, her actual, what should have been her hand of the queen from the very fucking jump, and she doesn't go, I defer to you. No, Alicent goes, this is what ruling is. You know, this is what ruling is. You are not going to like yourself. Sorry. You're going to go, none of this was worth it. And it wasn't. None of it's worth it. You know, but you're here.
I don't know. I think Rhaenyra's right. She's like, but I don't believe... She doesn't believe in it. She's like, well, no, I'm here. And now I can... I don't know. Like, I think she... And it could be... I don't know. It could be just the way of things, but you got to break the chain somehow. And sadly, this is all torn away to history. I don't know. Or it's not...
The idealism, I admire. I respect. I even think she... I don't think she's wrong. She's absolutely right. She even says, I understand the struggle, but I'm not going to give up who I am for the throne. The throne isn't one person, you know, like, that would be, and, you know, there's an argument to be had about how this is it a reflection of like what the presidency is and how it's, or like generally politically, ascending to that height, being the commander-in-chief and fighting in unceasing wars, like you are inherently going to be. The idea in modern politics, as far as America is concerned, is that you can start out as idealistic as you want, but you eventually arrive at a point where you want to keep getting elected, and what you do to do that is be... I guess I'll give myself to this. I guess I'll give myself to this. I guess I'll give myself to this. And by the end of it, you're a gray slab that doesn't believe in anything. I believe that is changing. I think that there's a lot of really positive forces in the political sphere that are causing that to change. Zoran Mamdani, AOC, people like that. Ilhan Omar. There's a lot of really, really positive politicians on the scene that are obviously not handing themselves over to powers that be in order to continue to be reelected. But I do think there is a missed, like, as much as I love the move by Rhaenyra, which is to take what she can from these middling houses and go ahead and give it to the poor, I got to imagine that's going to come back to bite her, or else we wouldn't have acknowledged it at all. You know, like, that's all of those houses fucking hate her now. And while there are a ton, and I'm not saying a ton, there is a handful of really powerful houses who hold all the wealth and all the power. There's a ton, a metric fuck ton of middling houses who just got robbed in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? And that is not going to go over well for Rhaenyra.
Yeah, it's like she has the throne, she has the dragons, she has like everything on paper right now. She kind of does have, but sadly, I'm saying she and the rest of the realm, you know, even they see Aegon, they will take a burnt, crisped up, you know, who even knows if there is a penis still there? I don't know, but it's like it's a man
there
enough, you know.
Aegon has said as much.
Oh, actually. Oh, no, I forgot.
Well, it might still be there, but it definitely doesn't work. He said that.
Oh, no. Yeah, so it's like...
You can't even take a piss.
But the realm would take him back. I don't know. I feel like if he showed back up, it's not good. I don't want him to. But yeah, Aemon's still out there. Aegon's still out there. Darren is actually, you know, is like... They're all still out there. I think Alicent is truly... not part of it. I truly hope not.
No, Alicent's not part of it. And that's, again, that feeds into the show's narrative about how not trusting of women the realm is. Alicent doesn't fucking know.
Yeah.
She thinks she has the power. She thinks she's capable of swaying things. And she can on some level, you know, but They send her Darren. It's not Darren. They ask, where did they send the money? She doesn't fucking know. Otto might have known, but you killed Otto. My bad. What did you know about the plot? I didn't know shit about the plot. We know she didn't know shit about the plot. Whenever she presents it to them like, Viserys said this, let's go. We should, guess what, guys? My son can be king. And they're like, fuck yeah, that's what we plan on doing anyway. Let's ride.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, no, okay. I think I had like a somewhat of a hesitation of like, maybe she's still like gunning for her kids somehow, and this is a master, kind of. I don't think she expected Otto at all. Yeah, I don't think she's like that much part of it. But like, I think, I don't think she's given up on her kids living. And Rhaenyra is steadfast in seeing those children die. So I mean, that's
Aegon has to die. Aemond has done more than enough to justify his dying. Darren doesn't have to die, which is why I think she's like, yeah, you'll take the black. However, now that might be different because of his direct participation in a plot against the queen.
But is it really him?
No, it's not him, but
yeah, it's like it's just.
It's as possible that he is a part of it as it is that he's not. They even acknowledge that he's young, that this kid is younger than they thought Darren would be. I do think this kid is younger than Darren is supposed to be. I think that's why they include that line. Otherwise, it's like, I do think Darren will be not much older, but older than this kid, because this kid is young. This is a 13-year-old, maybe 12-year-old.
Yeah, Aemon, I guess he is the youngest of them, but I mean, Aemon, they were born pretty rapidly, right? After one another.
I'd guess that Darren is 16.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess he could be in on it, but they said he's the nice one, sort of thing. I'm pretty sure there's not a Darren Targaryen in the line of kings on there, or I don't know. I haven't looked, but like that'd be pretty insane if it's like
that would be
Darren, and maybe he is the good one. Maybe he truly is just a good kid away from the castle, the Red Keep, just actually grown up okay at the Citadel. He's a Sam Tarly type, but likely not, and likely gonna die. Joffrey dead. Darren probably. I mean, Aegon and Aemon dead. Aegon might just slip away. I don't know, but Aemon dead. I don't know about Darren. I don't know how that one works out quite yet, but
all right. I looked it up because this is the best thing about Targaryens is that like I know there's multiple Darrens.
There
so
is
like
a Darren on there. No way.
I was like, is Darren Targaryen king? And they were like, yeah, Darren is the 8th and the 12th Targaryen king. So that's a couple Darrens, mind you.
8th and the 12th. I don't even know what number we're on, and maybe that makes it
exactly.
Better.
That's why that number means nothing to me. I'm like, I don't know what Darren that is. I don't know where we're at.
I know Aegon's
I would guess.
The Conqueror.
I would guess Aegon, somebody, Jaehaerys, Viserys, and this weird middle ground we're at. Did you hear something?
Oh, okay. I'm glad you couldn't hear it. I think my speakers just went like, I don't know. They were kind of pop. I thought it was my AirPods at first, but no, it was my speaker. So glad if you couldn't hear it. But okay, sorry. I thought it was like a mini helicopter at first going off in my room. I was so confused. Yes, but speaker form. Okay, sorry about that.
Darren.
The 4th or the 8th and the 12th. Fuck it. Darren's making it out. Bet on an Aegon and bet on a Darren. I wouldn't have thought Darren. I don't know. Out of all the names here, but...
It's more like Daeron, you know, Daeron, Daeron.
Daeron
Targaryen, you know, Daeron.
You know, we'll have to see.
Uh-oh.
Pops up.
Reconnecting.
Bring
him back.
20% we're at, so that's it. Okay.
Bragger. Ooh, my laptop's getting there. 30%. I'm gonna.
Wow. Yeah, I think. Wow. I guess a Harrenhal might not be next episode. It might be the Vale, because Daemon's meeting Aemond. I think. I don't think it's anyone but him, if not joined by others. Yeah. Ulf. Yeah, I think the trio might be... Okay, that's how Harrenhal goes. Because Vhagar's got to fall at some point. I don't know if it's now.
Yeah, Vhagar dies.
Do you think it's at Harrenhal?
Yeah. I'm of the mind Caraxes, Daemon, Aemond, and Vhagar all die at Harrenhal. That's where I'm at, personally.
Wow.
I think all four of them kill each other.
Wow. And it's... Oh, no. I mean, yeah, that could just be why Daemon's so cool right now. He's just...
Yeah.
He's so close.
He's cooked.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't think Daemon and Aemon make it out of Season 3, and I think Season 4 anchors itself back onto Rhaenyra versus Aegon. And by proxy, Alicent and, you know, all that good stuff.
Okay, yeah. It's like Aegon is just kind of drifting in the wind for a while until it's like, okay.
I don't think Aegon's going to matter at all in Season 3. I think that maybe towards the end, he wraps back around to being like of some note, but I think Aegon, ironically, even though he seems the most on paper in danger, is the safest of the Greens. Aside from Alicent and Helaena, of course.
Yes. Helaena better be safe. Alicent?
If Helena's not safe, I will switch sides.
I don't know about
it.
that.
Like,
but...
Alicent could die, and I wouldn't be surprised by that. Helaena dies, I feel awful about it.
And I think because of that, Helena's actually the much more likely candidate of dying. Which fuck. Yeah, no. I don't. No. Just
fuck no, baby.
Let her she just wants to leave. She just wants to leave. That's all. Like, let her go. And I mean, she did have some interesting buttons of like, did it make you feel better about your son, about Jace? Did the kill? Like, she knows every word she says. I don't know. Is just. It seems unassuming, but it's not. Like she is.
Yeah, she knows what she's talking about, man. Yeah. It was another fucking great episode, man. I loved it. I thought it was front to back a good week. I do think obviously it slowed down quite a bit. I think that there is room to grow. But score-wise, phenomenal. Performance-wise, phenomenal. I didn't think it was the best looking episode the show has to offer, which I thought was interesting. There were a couple moments that I thought were like specifically strange visual choices, like when Mysaria and Rhaenyra are talking at one point in what I think is like what later becomes where Jaime puts the map of Westeros and like leaves Cersei's side, and like that's what I always regard that room as. It's where Arya and the Hound go their separate ways, like that's I always think of that room in the context of Game of Thrones, not House of the Dragon. And that always is really cool in the Red Keep. I love when that happens. But there's a moment in that room that I thought was like weirdly bland and looked really fake. And I mean really fake in that it took me out of the world and it looked like a set. It looked it looked strangely real.
Like when they're throwing the drapes down in the pile, like is it
a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It was a lot more set like, and yeah, that room has never looked like a set.
It's
Like
never looked like
yeah.
that. And don't get me wrong. Like that's what's incredible about the show is that it is a set. Like I know that you are building this world. But the thing that I've always admired is that it's always been fully immersive. And don't get me wrong, this episode was still incredibly immersive. There were just moments where it kind of took me out and was like, this is a little bland compared to what it's looked like in the past. And that's specifically interesting in the context of Claire Kilner directing this episode, because she has made some beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I love whenever there's something that specifically Claire Kilner episodes do where they zoom in on characters and the edges of the frame fray and they get blurry and there's like this focal blur going on. I love that. So like there's a balance. It's not all bad, but it's by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's quite good, but there's just moments where I was kind of like, it's a weird choice to make here.
Yeah. I wonder if it stylistically could go with like the rats and just how the castle feels not alive, that it is ghostly, but I don't think it was it was a little outside of that. I think, not to prove that point. It was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, set up very like usually that room, it's always at an angle. I don't know. I think it was just the dead center.
There was a dead center. There was a weird thing going on that like, and again, like that room always looks, and again, maybe you're right. Maybe there is something to the fact that the castle feels dead. The room always feels a little bit more red, like the Red Keep. It's a little warmer. It's a little, and then here it's really gray and really bland. And to your credit, I appreciate you bringing that point up that maybe it is because the air is filled with ghosts, and like maybe that is the point they're making. That point when she sees Jason, like that is right where I'm talking about. Like that is that room. So maybe that is the case, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
Rhaenyra does explicitly call Mysaria her mistress in this. Dude, by the way,
that was I was about to bring it up as a joke last week, but I didn't want to I thought it was too far. Like I thought I was like, no,
too on the nose.
That's like, no, that's not good. And then like it said an episode, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's like, fuck, okay, shit.
Mistress of Whisperers, which is what a woman master would be, but
is that really? Is it truly just the female version of master is mistress?
I think it is. Yeah, mistress.
Is it not usually used in the connotation of like, oh, like that's your I thought it was like your sexual partner, like maybe like
yeah. That's what it's used as modernly. But I do think that the counter to master, words can have multiple meanings. I think that is the counter to master.
Because no way she's female like actively saying this is the person I'm having an affair with Damon, and calling.
Yeah, it's mistress.
Okay.
The traditional feminine equivalent of master is mistress. However, because of its modern associations with extramarital affair or romantic dominance, it is often avoided. So, like, it is just a consequence of the times. And Anna, I appreciate that you're back. Unfortunately, we are not long for this world. We haven't had. We're pretty much there. ROZR Roser is back. Commented earlier on, but I didn't know what they meant. Says here, have you guys seen what the real Casterly Rock looks like? I hate to inform you, Roser. Casterly Rock isn't real.
No, I wonder if but has it ever actually been on screen? Once?
Yeah, in Game of Thrones it was.
Like from afar. Have we ever been in the castle? Or was it just like a landscape shot? What even was the shot in Game of Thrones?
It's the place that
Casterly Rock.
They take Casterly Rock. The Targaryens, Daenerys, Grey Worm, Tyrion devises the scheme to take Casterly Rock because he designed the tunnel system. It
was just so fast that it was over with. Yeah, okay, it was just very quick. It was like, okay, that's right. And they got, okay, yeah, wow.
And to answer Rosier, that's how I'm going to say it. I've not seen that drawing that George R.R. Martin signed off on, but
I'd say
to my
vastly
understanding,
different.
Casterly Rock is quite massive. Yeah.
I mean, the Throne, not quite the book version of the Throne. Kind of hard and very impractical to make that. But yeah, I think this is quite the upgrade. The House of the Dragon version. But yeah, I don't know. A very strange week, and it's like At least I know Daemon's headed to the Vale to collect some taxes, but it's like there's no war movement. There's no.
Yeah, I didn't expect war movement strictly. I thought this week was exactly what I thought it would be, which was a slowdown week, gathering ourselves in the Red Keep. I appreciate that we seldom left it. Like we were there the whole episode pretty much, and that's what I thought this episode would be. So I'm really, really glad that that's what it was. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about it because it was a simple episode compared to, or not a simple episode, but a small episode compared to the others this season.
An important tweener. It needed to
I'd
happen.
be willing to bet that episode 4 is a counterpart to this episode outside the Red Keep, and that maybe it is largely spent at Harrenhal and with Kristen Cole and that sort of stuff. I'd be willing to bet that there is.
Yes.
There were a couple Alicent and Rhaenyra scenes, Anna. Yes. There were a couple. Rhaenyra comes to Alicent for some advice about how to handle the pressures of, petitions. And then later on, also, not Darren makes an appearance. So you got that to look forward to whenever you watch the episode. Yeah, really. Girl. Yeah, I agree. Now I'm curious. I just want to know what you think. I know that you've read the books, so.
Oh. And yes, it's
They do need to stop, yes. Just kiss already. That's where I'm at. I love the show. I think it's heading in the right direction. This was obviously, they are heading in the right direction. And don't get me wrong, Anna, they are angry with each other, but they aren't as angry with each other as you would expect that they should be after Otto's death. I do agree that maybe that could have been a little bit more expressed. However, it is very, very clear that they are not, Alicent specifically is not happy with Rhaenyra. And that is abundantly clear.
Yeah. Has to respect the station as well a little bit. She is prisoner, and kind of like, it's like.
Yeah, she understands the vulnerability of her situation. And she also understands that the situation she thought she was handing over to Rhaenyra, she does say, I did all I could, but her side of the bargain wasn't strictly lived up to.
Yeah. Little switcheroo Aegon for Otto, and it just didn't feel right. But I guess you needed someone to kill to put the crown on. It felt like a coronation moment, but no, it wasn't. And so it's like it is a weird. I don't know. Yeah. Something does feel a little off about it, I guess. That this would throw a little more fire into things.
That is another thing that I'm glad we're expounding upon is the fact that the crown doesn't have money. And they're expressly, like in Game of Thrones, they were like, well, we'll just mine Casterly Rock for all it's worth and that'll be that. But in this show, they're like, yeah, we don't know where to get money from.
Yeah,
like we have no fucking idea, and I love that aspect of it.
And that was
and Daemon's like, you could rule the fucking world, dude.
We have dragons. We are gods. Yeah, he still's got the god complex, but it's like at this point though.
Yeah, who could blame him? If you have 6 dragons in your control, and Aegon the Conqueror, that was what he was called, did it with half as many.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think you'd be good. But obviously nothing's good here. So we can't have anything nice like a queen who rules the 7 kingdoms and beyond. He's over here fawning about how, fuck the 7 kingdoms. We could have this, we could have this, we could have this, we could have this. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, buddy. None of that happens. I can tell you that for goddamn sure.
I don't know. He does throw out, there's a land far out there with men with wings, you know?
They say there are men with wings, yes.
That's where they're going. That's I was waiting for a headcanon, a way all these people could live somehow, and that they don't die. All these dragons don't die. They go to the magical man-winged land, you know, wherever that is.
The winged mans.
Yeah, it's good. It's all good.
I mean, he's seen some weird shit. I'm sure he's open to believing in men with wings. Yeah, no, I'm happy with this week. Thought it was a great episode, a solid episode. Not quite to the level that I think the first 2 were at, but I don't think it was supposed to be at that level. Score wise, I think it was the best episode of the season so far, though. I think it was as good as Ramin Djawadi has been. But yeah, I think with that we're gonna conclude this episode of Geek with Me. We are also doing The Cinementalists. That's CINEMENTALISTS. And next week we are discussing Stand By Me, the classic coming-of-age film directed by Rob Reiner. Last week we did Taxi Driver. It was a great time. That episode is now readily available. And Stand By Me will be available this Friday. We will be doing it on TikTok Live as well at Coro Bloom. Look that up. Look up Joseph here. When you follow me, you can follow him, and that'll be good for both of us. And you can tune in. It'll be a great time. We had a steady stream of viewers this time. Not a lot of them stuck around, but I was getting this person joined, this person joined, this person joined, this person joined always. So I'm encouraged by the fact that the algorithm is feeding us to people, and eventually that means we will have people who stick around. So I like that. But this month on The Cinementalists is Stand By Me, Romeo and Juliet, Deja Vu, and The Nice Guys, and I'm very, very excited about all of it. So go ahead and check out The Cinementalists, our movie podcast. Stick with us here on Geek With Me for House of the Dragon coverage. There's a lot more coming this year that we are going to be discussing, not just Game of Thrones related, but we've been getting a lot of news lately about new Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff and all that good stuff. Ninth Jedi, the spin-off out of Visions, is coming out in August. Like an entire series spun out of one of the episodes is coming out in August, and I cannot wait. So that's something that we will inevitably touch on at the very least. But yeah, we've got high hopes. So you ought to check us out. Stick with us. You shall not be disappointed. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, from the bottom of my heart, fuck ice.